Hi everyone, I'm Casey Chung, and today I'm making a video on what's in my camera bag. Let's begin. Let's start with the carry case. I got this from Harbor Freight Store. This is the Apache 5800 model. It has wheels on the bottom, an extending handle. This is similar to a Pelican case. It's almost indestructible, I would say. It's quite sturdy. I'm going to open it up here. I took out all the foam inserts because I want to hold as much gear as possible. It's also waterproof. It's really quite a bargain. I got it from Harbor Freight. You can get it for 25% off when they have their coupon specials. Next, let's talk about camera gear. First off, we have the Canon EOS 90D. It's a DSLR body. What I like about this particular camera design is that it has a fully articulating LCD screen. It's great for self-vlogging and self-pictures. I have on the 24-105 zoom lens by Canon. It's a fixed f4L lens. It's version 2. It also has image stabilization. On top here we have the Godox X2T remote trigger. So this trigger is to remotely fire off my various Godox flashes. For my next camera we have here the Canon M50. This is a very compact mirrorless camera body, and I also like it because it has the fully articulating screen, which I find very useful. I have here the Canon EFS 24 2.8 lens. It's attached to this M mount camera via the Canon adapter. So that way I can use various EF, EFS Canon lenses attached to this camera body using this Canon adapter. For my various lenses, let's talk about this one first. This is the Canon 17-55 zoom. It's a fixed f2.8 lens. This is also image stabilized. Great lens for both stills and videos, as well as the previous zoom that I showed, the 24-105. Both great lenses for both using for stills and videos. And this is the K&F Concept variable neutral density filter in the 77mm size. I use this for the Canon 17-55 zoom lens. Next lens we have here is the Canon 100mm macro prime f2.8L lens. It's also an image stabilized lens. This is great for both shooting portraits, close-up portraits, as well as using for telephoto, and also of course is great for macro close-up shooting, and I think it renders 100% life-size magnification. Next lens here we have the what they call the Canon Nifty 50mm f1.8. A very inexpensive lens, and it gets the job done. Let's talk about flashes. Here we have the Godox V1 round head flash. The C stands for Canon. So this flash is made for Canon bodies. This particular flash has a round head. Has a circular design. It's just a really pleasing circular light. And what's notable about this design is that it has a magnetic head, so that it will fit magnetic accessories. In this case, I have on a portable dome diffuser. There are also other attachments for a snoot, barn doors, various gel filters, and they just all attach by magnets because both sides are magnetic. This particular flash, what I like about it is that it's both powerful and versatile. It works great for both an on-camera flash as well as it can also be used for a master to remotely trigger my various other Godox flashes. And it has a very powerful rechargeable lithium battery. Let me just press the button here, and then the battery's right here. It's rated for about 500 full power flashes, so it can last probably most of the day without having to recharge. So I keep an extra battery in my camera bag that's fully charged, as well as the charger, just in case. And next we have the Godox 685C flash. And this has the Stofan diffuser on the head. It's a very simple flash, and it takes AA batteries. I'm using Eneloop rechargeable batteries, which you can buy, you can buy alkaline AA batteries anywhere. I choose to use Eneloop rechargeables because it's just more cost effective that way. They're quite powerful rechargeable batteries. And this is the 685 model. Next we have the very powerful Godox AD200 Pro flash. This flash spits out 200 watt-seconds of power, which is roughly 2.5 to 3 times more powerful than a regular speedlight flash. On top here we have what's called the H200R round head attachment. Let me just turn it on here so you can see what it looks like. So this thing, I have it on currently at 1/28th power, which is a very low power setting if I want. Let me just press the ready light here. So this flash is not a speedlight flash. It has no hot shoe adapter. It has this adapter here so that you can attach it to a light stand. So this is meant to be placed on a light stand. I can attach it by way, I can use a umbrella using this hole right here to fit in the umbrella. I also have an S2 speed ring and various other Bowens mount style speed rings so that I can attach a softbox or various other light modifiers so that I have studio quality lighting anywhere on location. And this flash also takes a very powerful rechargeable lithium ion battery. So the battery comes out like so. Let me just here you go. So that is the battery. It's rated for, I don't know, somewhere between 500 to 600 full power flashes, I think. So that can last quite a while. And I have an extra one of these rechargeable batteries in my bag just in case. So this is the AD200 Pro flash. So going back to this Godox X2T remote trigger that's on my camera, this trigger can remotely trigger all 3 flashes simultaneously or independently. So I have here group A, B, C, D, E, and each one of those flashes are assigned a different group. So for example, the V1 flash is set for group A, the 685 flash is set for group B, the AD200 Pro flash is set for group C, so I can have all 3 flashes fired simultaneously just by this remote trigger controlling all those flashes off camera. Or I can also have one flash on, the other 2 flashes off, or any combination thereof. So that's the beauty of using the Godox ecosystem, is this trigger can trigger all of those 3 flashes simultaneously or independently, and all off camera. Alright, moving on, because I shoot videos as well, we have here a couple of different portable LED lights. This is the Momin bi-color adjustable light. What that means is when I turn this light on here, it's currently set for 300 degrees Kelvin temperature. It's only at 23% power output right now. If I want, I can just toggle the switch and then move this button upwards, and now it's saying 4,500, 5,000, 6,000 degrees, 6,500 degrees Kelvin. So now the light is at daylight balanced, and it's at 23% power. While I have it here at 6,500 degrees, I can go back down, and you'll see it's changing to amberish color for a nice little warm tone. There we go. So now it's at 3,000 degrees Kelvin. I can toggle the switch and put the output on more power. So right now it's going up to 40%, 60% power. So it takes like a good, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds for it to go up to full maximum 100% output. So now it's actually quite bright. So this light can now be used for video lights, or I can also use it as a modeling lamp so that I can see my subject and focus better in the dark. So this is the Momin LED bicolor light. I also have this newer LED light. This one is not bicolor, although it does have this cool little filter here that I can just slap on, and then it becomes a warm light. So now I can just turn it on here, and I can increase the power output. That's maximum right there. I can go back down lower, lower. So that's the newer light, and this attaches to the shoe of the camera. And by the way, this also has an attachment so you can attach it to the hot shoe of the camera as well. This Momin light also has an additional vertical shoe attachment so that I can attach it vertically, or in this case, horizontally. Alright, because I also shoot videos, let's move on to audio gear. So here in this low pro pouch, we have the Rode Video Mic Pro Plus model. This is the top of the line hot shoe external shotgun microphone. Let me turn it on by pressing this button here, and this has various advanced functions. This can go up to plus 20 decibel or minus 10 decibel depending on the situation. It has a high pass filter in varying degrees to help reduce background noise. It has also a safety track so that it can record in a separate track at a lower decibel in case you might be afraid that you're blowing out the audio if it's an loud situation. This particular Rode Video Mic Pro Plus has a battery compartment that's located right here, and it has a built-in lithium rechargeable battery. So it has a micro USB-C port. Where is it? Not C. It has a micro USB. Oh, here it is. That's the port that you plug in the USB micro, and then it recharges the built-in battery, which is good for about 70 hours. What's also cool about the battery is that, let's say the battery were to die and I didn't have a chance to recharge it, I can just simply use 2 AA batteries. Place it inside there, and then I can use the microphone again. So that's that. This is we have here the Rode Wireless Go microphone. This is a very small, let me just put the bag down. This is a very small lavalier system that is wireless. So when I press the button here and I press the button there for the transmitter and the receiver, this is the transmitter. So you'll see that it's transmitting. That's the signal strength. That is the battery strength, signal strength, and the level that I have for the output. When I'm talking right now, if I talk louder, then this is going to jump more to the right side. If I see that, it just went over to the, it shows like that red. So that's telling me that it's peaking, which means you're blowing out your audio. And that's telling me that it's connected via Wi-Fi. Or is it Bluetooth? I forget it right. I think it's Bluetooth. Anyways, this is just a really slick wireless lavalier microphone system. And what's particularly cool about this is that the receiver side of it has a built-in microphone so that you do not need to plug in a separate corded wireless microphone, although it's possible. There's a port right here that if I want, I can connect my favorite corded microphone. But it actually works really well just having the built-in microphone. So the way it attaches, that this being the receiver here, you just, there's a clip right here, I don't know if you can see that. So you just put the bottom of that to clip it to the hot shoe of the camera, and that's your receiver. And in this, of course, you can just clip it onto the person's collar or lapel, and then have this microphone very close to the person's mouth while they're speaking, and this will record the audio, and it wirelessly feeds the audio directly to the receiver that's on the camera in real time. So that's what's really cool about that. If I also have, if I choose to use a corded microphone, this is a 20 feet long Movo lavalier microphone, if I choose to use a corded microphone instead of a wireless one. And then plus I have all types of cords just in case, USBC, micro. This is the cord that attaches to right here, the Rode Rode receiver, so that it goes directly into, so one side goes into the camera body, microphone in port, and the other side plugs in here to the Rode receiver. So that's how you get your audio. Okay, next we have this bad boy. This is the Ceremonic UWM IC9 ultra high frequency lavalier wireless microphone system. So this is the receiver that you put on the shoe, and it comes with two transmitters. I put a sticker on it for A and B, so that way I know which is which. And what's cool about this is that, let's say you have a bride and groom and they're both giving their wedding vows at the wedding. This A transmitter can be on the bride, the B transmitter can be on the groom, and while they're both talking, the audio is wirelessly feeding directly into the receiver at the same time. So that way you don't have to mix anything in post-processing. It's all done automatically. So that's really cool. And next we have this Movo microphone here, because I like to have redundant backups for everything. This is the Movo VXR700 microphone. It has a plus 10 decibel gain, and it has a low cut pass filter, and takes one AA battery. So this is a very handy external shotgun microphone. It's also very compact, and it costs very little, and you can get it through Amazon. This is an XLR audio cable, in case I might need that. Okay, lastly, when it comes to audio, we have here external portable audio recorders. This is the Tascam DR05X. This is the Zoom H1N. Let me just turn them on so you can see what they look like. There's pros and cons of both of these models. So the Tascam, you can see, is almost twice larger and thicker than the Zoom model. The Tascam model has a much larger LCD screen so that I can more easily see the font sizes and then read all the small numbers. The Zoom LCD screen is considerably, well, it is smaller. So I just find the screen to be easier to read on the Tascam. And the other major difference is that the Tascam recorder can record both in stereo or mono, depending on your desire. You can change it in the settings here. Whereas the Zoom recorder can only record in stereo. So these are the Tascam and the H1N Zoom recorder. They're really long names after a while. Both very handy to have. When it's good to have redundant audio backups for recording anytime you're filming something very important. Okay, next we have, this is the psychotic L308XU light meter. Not too many people use light meters nowadays, but I find it very useful. Let me see if I can zoom in here. So this is great for taking an ambient light measurement reading. It's also extra useful for as a flash meter. So right now it's on flash mode, so when I pop a flash it will tell me, you know, a given f-stop for whatever ISO and shutter speed I'm using. And it's just a very handy pocket flash meter. It's really small, it fits in my hand very easily. And over here we have the collapsible folding gray card, and this is useful for a very accurate color balance. So instead of using auto white balance, which if you were to use auto for white balance on your camera, you might notice that the colors might change throughout the video, which is bad because what you really want is a very consistent and accurate colors. And so by taking a picture, a still picture of this gray card, and going to your custom white balance preset and save this image and use this image as the custom white balance preset, that's how you're able to get a lot more accurate colors out of the camera. And so a combination of using a light meter for accurate exposures and also using the gray card so that you have accurate colors makes for a great combination, so that it minimizes having to do post-processing in the computer afterwards. Alright, let's see, moving on here, we have all kinds of adapters here. Not adapters, we have various tabletop tripods and accessories. Here we have, let's start with this one. We have the DLC tabletop tripod. I actually prefer this versus the Gorilla version. The Gorilla version has like these beaded designs on the legs, whereas this has a smooth design, and it's bendable so that you can have it like a position wrapped around like a tree branch up high, so that you can shoot from a different angle. And so I just like this because I just find it very handy to use for anything. I can set one of my flashes on it, I can set one of the cameras on it. Okay, and next we have a little Joby tabletop tripod. And just like the other one, you press a button and then it has a little rotating head here on top. Again, it's great for all kinds of things, including putting my little portable Tascam or H1 audio recorder on top there, and then just putting it on a table and let it record. That's very handy to have. I also have a tiny little tripod as well. It's small enough to also use for one of the recorders. Here we have an adapter that you can put onto a light stand, and then on the top here I can put one of my speed lights, and then I can set it somewhere remotely and to fire off the flashes. It also has a little umbrella adapter here. It can tilt, and it's just a very useful accessory to have. This next adapter here is a small rig, it's a little tiny small rig C-clamp. And what you do is you put it, like, let's say on one of the legs of a tripod or a light stand, and then you can tighten it. It just latches on, and then here you can configure this or so that, and then tighten it and set to place, and then it can hold, like, let's say one of the audio recorders or something small. So I just put this on to one of the tripod legs or one of the light stands, and I have a couple of these guys, and it's just great for holding one of my other accessories. Alright, now we moving on here, we have, this is a Pelican. I keep a bag full of stuff. This is a Pelican case. It holds 12 SD cards. It's just useful to keep your SD cards organized. I always like to carry on extra Canon Charger for my batteries, which is good to have. I keep in this bag here extra batteries. Here is, let's see. By the way, let me show you this one here. This is the ProMaster third-party brand of batteries. I've been using this now for probably more than half a year, and I find it very reliable, so that I don't have to necessarily spend on the full price of using Canon cameras. This works very well in replacement of the Canon OEM batteries for both my Canon 90D camera as well as my Canon M50 camera. So I also keep in my little grab bag the little shoe here that you can put the flashlight on top and set it on a table so that you can then set it remotely to trigger one of your flashes. And here we have the Canon BRE1 Remote. This is a very useful Bluetooth remote. Right here is the trigger button to trigger my shutter release button on my camera. The smaller button here is AF. It will autofocus the camera. And here it says W and T. I think that stands for adjusting the wide angle and telephoto for some lenses that have that capability. So I way prefer to use this Canon Remote versus using the Canon Connect Smart app, which I find very temperamental and not reliable, whereas using this remote control works 100% of the time. It's just very accurate. Alright, lastly, let's talk about my tripods. This is the Manfrotto 190 Go. And here is the Manfrotto MHX Pro 2W video head. The reason why I have a video head for my tripod usage is because with the video head you can use it for both stills and videos. However, the opposite cannot be said. In other words, if you were to use a still head for taking still pictures, you cannot use a ball head that's meant for stills and try to use it for videos. It just will not work. Whereas a video head can be used for both stills and videos, so it's just way more versatile. So hence I'm using a video head on my Manfrotto tripod legs. And also what I like about this particular model of legs is that if I were to remove this video head, this particular leg, it's really short. So this fits directly into my Apache 5800 hard case perfectly, and I can store it in the overhead bin compartment of the airplane with no problem. And lastly, we have here the Sirui Monopod. This Sirui Monopod is the P204SR model, and it also has a Sirui VA5 video head, and it's just really nice to be able to use this for both videos and stills. What's kind of slick about this particular monopod is that it has these legs here that when you press a lock button here, they come out, so then I can then set it on level ground, and it helps to kind of just keep it in place there. So I find that really pretty slick. Anyway, so those are all my camera gear. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments on anything, just let me know. Thanks for watching.